All right, guys, what is going on? Today we have the one and only Ryan Roxie. If you don't know who Ryan Roxie is, he is the guitar player for Alice Cooper, his own solo project, Roxy 77, and he has his own podcast called In the Trenches, which is one of the best rock and roll podcasts that we have out today, in my opinion. Ryan Roxie, how are you doing today?
Thanks, man. With an introduction like that, where do we go? Thanks, Kevin, for having me on. Thanks for talking to me.
No, thank you for being here. It is an honor. It is an honor to have you here, which is it's gonna be a blast. Basically, I know that you are one of the most successful musicians out there on the out there on the music scene. So to be able this opportunity to have to certainly have your perspective on health and music, it's certainly awesome.
I appreciate your kind words, man. But the way I think about it in my own head is that I'm very lucky enough to be associated with some household names of who I've played with over the years. I myself, I'm still in the trenches. I'm still working my way up, grinding it every day, and doing something that helps me get to the next level pretty much every day.
That's the way that we got to do it, man. So for those of you that, for those of us who don't know who Ryan Roxy is, give us a little quick introduction. Who is Ryan Roxy? What are you all about?
In one sentence, huh? I'm a guy. I'm a survivor of rock and roll. I've been very, very fortunate to still be alive and kicking in this world of rock. It's, as we know, it's up and down. A lot of times more down than up, but I've always tried to look at the upside, even when it is dark times. And Lord knows our industry has been experiencing the dark times these last couple of years, not being able to tour. So for me, just being able to get back out there on the road at the end of this year is a big, big, big plus. And I really look for the small positives. And when something isn't working out, I always try to see, well, what can we do to make it work out so that I can still file my taxes as a musician at the end of the year? How can I sort of monetize and make money doing what I love to do and what I've done pretty much my whole entire life? So that's my sort of, wake up in the morning and say, hey, let's face the world and the challenges that it gives us, and let's make the most of it.
Most definitely, and you have certainly succeeded in that. In my opinion, and continue to do so. I think during 2020, you've had the opportunity to, I want to say, to go into new adventures. You released your guitar course. You've had an opportunity to work with In the Trenches, and you certainly continue to find ways to create more value in the rock and roll world. And being that said, how do you manage to take care of your health, or how do you manage to make sure that you are in a great shape so that you have the energy to continue on your creative endeavors?
Well, I think it's taking care of the mind and the body. I think it goes hand in hand. Mental health and physical health are really important, especially when you face these types of years that we've had as musicians, where a lot of the doors have shut down, in ways that we would normally make our income. I had taught lessons before. I've done many types of guitar lessons programs before. I had done podcast types of programs before, but when we were faced with this adversity of no touring, I really had to pivot, and I saw those two things, the guitar course and the podcast, as things I could really develop in 2020. And I think we did as a team. I got a good team of guys and gals together that have helped out so much with not just the System 12 guitar method, but also the In the Trenches podcast. Like I said, it's taking those things from that you've done in the past, that you've had some success, maybe not the success that you were initially looking for, but and you try to pivot and turn it into bigger success, and hopefully in the future some sort of income that can, extra income that can come in while you're still, lucky enough to be playing music. So now getting to the mental health and the physical health, I've always, for the last 10 years, I think I've been using the same, it's a DVD, but I actually put it into a computer. It's a half an hour workout. It literally is a half an hour aerobic type of moves. And I think it's Jillian Michaels. I think it's called the 30.
I think I've heard that name.
30-day shred.
Yeah.
I know. Jillian Michaels, she was, she's actually a really big fitness personality. And she made this DVD, folks. It was a DVD. I don't even know if they have DVDs anymore. And I just picked it up one day and I started doing this workout. And I've been doing the 30-day shred for about now, 10, 13 years. And I do it pretty much every day if I can. When I'm on the road, lucky enough to be working out in some of the gyms that they have. But I think it's really important to do some sort of cardio, half hour to 45 minutes a day. It's not that much to ask out of your body. And then mentally, I've also gotten into TM, which is called Transcendental Meditation. And that's, again, another just 20 minutes a day if you want to relax yourself and your mind and your body at the same time. So the combination of those two things and trying not to get too wound up about stuff, lowering the importance, which is hard for all of us, man. Lowering the importance is so hard because we want to do the very best that we can at all times. And sometimes, you just have to understand that sometimes you're going to get got. if that's a way to, you're going to get beat some days, and maybe some days your energy levels aren't going to be up there. So don't put so much importance into that. Some days you have an off day, but try and take care of your mind and your body as much as you can.
Most definitely. And, like you experienced is, once you start, like applying all of these healthy routines in your life, it certainly has an effect on, on your perspective and the way how, you tackle on the day-to-day basis, most certainly. But that's awesome. And I'm glad that's working out for you.
Well, I mean, it's been something that you have to routine. It is a bit of routine. It's like learning an instrument. You do have to practice it. Doesn't mean that you have to practice 8 to 10 hours a day, because I know that a lot of people don't have time for that. But I swear, if you put a goal out there, and, there's a lot to be said about putting something out into the universe and having it get manifested. But the deal is, you have to put action into that as well. And so if you put a goal out there into the world, so then it's out there, and do something every single day to make that goal happen, or one step closer to that goal, then it definitely will happen. I'm not into wishing. I'm into creating and making things happen, and letting things happen, I guess, is a better way. Instead of making things happen, letting things happen. I'd be lying if I said I didn't get in my own way sometime, because I think we all get in our own way of our goals. But sometimes you just have to let things happen. And it takes time.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Those are wise words. Well, certainly you do have, all these years of experience, and that's a really good advice. Good.
Well, I guess the good news is every day we get older. You can say we can get older, or you can say every day you gain one more day of experience on this earth that someone that is younger than you doesn't have. So you're not actually getting older. You're just getting more experienced. How about that?
Most definitely. And now, throughout all of your years as a musician, what has been the hardest thing that you had to face, if you don't mind me asking?
As a musician, the hardest thing having to face, I think, for the longest time, was them. And what is them? It's the music business. It's the unknown faces. It's the A&R people at record companies that don't listen to your tape. It's the managers that, either don't take your phone calls, or perhaps you sign a bad deal and they try to screw you left and right. It's the lawyers that will charge you for things that perhaps maybe could have been a yes or no answer. But it's the game, and it becomes you against them, until you realize that it's not you against them. It's you doing your thing, and you have the power now. Whatever you're doing, especially in the music business right now, you have just as much power as any record label does. Yes, they have distribution. Yes, they have more publicity angles and ways to make things happen. But there's so much power in your own home computer, in your phone, in your, in what you do. We have so much more independence now as musicians. So the minute I stopped fighting them and thinking them as the enemy, my life got a lot easier. And I just ended up doing things on my own. And then if people saw that and they saw success from that, say, hey, I want to join in on that, then great. Then they can, then you're joined and you're welcome to the party. And all the business people that at one time or another I thought were foes, a lot of them have become friends. And people will always warm up to someone that works their tail off, and someone that has a good attitude about it, and someone that shows up on time and puts quality into everything that they do and does their best. So people will always warm up to that. It doesn't matter if you think it's unattainable. People see that, and people in powerful positions will help you out if they think it can help them out as well.
Most definitely. And you can also see this in, from any perspective, not just the music, but, whenever you encounter an individual who is dedicated in their own craft, just the way how they speak about what they do, the way how they present themselves, it definitely says something about them.
Yeah, you got a good handle on it, Kevin. You do.
Most definitely. Now, Ryan Roxie, I am sure that, since you have been spending most of your time, or at least a good amount of your time online, I am sure that you have seen, many new musicians that are, I want to say these guys are younger than me, and, they're getting themselves out there, they're posting their own music, and there's a new generation of fans that are carrying the torch of rock and roll, which is exciting. So, like, what advice would you give to this new upcoming musicians?
Keep doing it. Keep knocking down the door when it seems to be closing on you. That's that persistence. I say practice, persistence, and patience. Those things are always really important to any upcoming band, any upcoming musician, any upcoming artist. You have to get some practice in, because you need to be able to, hang with the people that you're in the room with. Feel like, when you walk into a room of great musicians, you have to realize that, yes, you belong there. And because of the work you've put in, you do belong there. Then that persistence, whether it's touring around in a van, or whether it's, constantly posting up, the whereabouts of where you are, and being on social media as your van tour, and building up, YouTube channel followings, all that kind of stuff matters. Promotion is really important. It's just kind of the fourth P: practice, persistence, patience, and promotion. But a final one is patience. Have the patience to wait it out, because I said things don't happen overnight ever. Anytime you see a new band that's come out and you go, oh, I like this song. Well, they've put already years and years of recording and practicing and perfecting their craft before you ever even heard that first song that you heard, which might be off their third or fourth album. So, having that patience is really important. And I have to remind myself that every single day, because like I said, I'm still have goals that I want to attain, and I want them tomorrow. But at the same time, I realize that maybe the day after tomorrow is okay too.
Most certainly, most certainly. And I do remember that that's a good way to bring everything around. I do remember seeing your that was a talk that you did on TED where you talked about the 3P.
TED Talk, yeah. I did the 3Ps on TED Talk as well. Yeah, yeah. And that was, one of those things I always wanted to do. That was one of those goals I put out there. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't really see a lot of TED Talks with musicians, and I want to do it. I want to do a TED Talk, and I'm not, a household name. I love the fact that I get to play with guys like Alice Cooper and Slash, and they are household names, but I'm still establishing myself, and how can I do it? And I didn't overthink it. It just ended up dropping into my lap, the opportunity. And then when the opportunity came, I took the most of it. I definitely made the most of it.
Most certainly. I feel that we have to become one with, with our craft, with our music. This is our life, and we certainly have to do, like you said, we have to be patient, we have to be persistent, and we certainly have to make it our lifestyle and do everything that we can to improve as musicians. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. And once again, I appreciate your time. And I am very, very certain that any musician that sees this would certainly be inspired. You are one true hardworking rock star.
Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. And one thing I did forget is, like, above all, with all these sort of things that you should do, practicing and having this patience and being persistent, you should enjoy it too. Enjoy this whole journey, because at the end of the day, when you finally do attain that goal and the success that you're after, you want to look back on it as a good time, an enjoyable journey. And that's why I end a lot of my shows and my podcast, my weekly podcast, I end it with enjoy the ride. So that's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Enjoying the ride.
It's not about the money at the end of the line. It's about becoming who you are, with your passion, because at the end of the line, like you said, it's value that we are putting out there. And
but money's a big part of, like, having a comfortable lifestyle. So don't discount it as like that. Is like, oh, money doesn't matter at all. Well, you know what? When you don't have financial burdens on you constantly pressing on you, life is a lot easier and life is a lot better. But at the same time, look at the financial aspect, and the money aspect is just one of those fringe benefits that's going to come with the success of whatever your goal is and what you're doing. Because, if you're into having popularity and fame and getting your ego sort of boosted, which most people are, I am, everybody loves it. It's, they like to be told that they're, appreciated. And, that's one of those things that comes with it. Don't make it the goal. Don't make money the goal. Don't make fame the goal. Just accept them as sort of benefits of your hard work and your success, and enjoy it.
That's couldn't have put it in a better way.
Well, then wrap it up and package it, and let's get the word out there.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, I hope you have a good rest of the day. And for those of you guys, check out Ryan's website. He has his guitar course in it. And you're also able to purchase a lot of goodies as well from Ryan Roxie.
If you want to start learning how to play guitar, the System 12 guitar method is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think it's the best guitar course out there. And if you want to go check it out, a couple lessons for free, just go to ryanroxie.com, and the link's right there, and you'll be playing guitar within 20 minutes. I guarantee you.
20 minutes, and he guarantees it. Ryan, thank you so much again. I wish you a good rest of the day, and good luck with everything in your future upcoming projects. Cannot wait to see them.
You got it, Kevin. Take care, bud.
See you, Ryan.